Yo, what is going on? For those that don't know me, my name is Asher Shaw, and basically I'm just going to be telling you about my FIFO journey. Is FIFO worth the money? What to do, what sort of jobs, and what the reality of FIFO is. And then I'm just going to let you, take the option whether you want to go into FIFO, but I'm just going to share my experience and opinion, and just to give you an insight of, what it really is and what it really takes to actually be in that industry and the reality of it. So before we dive into all that, let me just tell you about like my story of where I came from and where I'm at, to where I went to where I'm at now. So I grew up in Queensland. I grew up in Port Douglas, like North Queensland, North Cairns. Then moved down to the Sunshine Coast near like Noosa. Moved there, finished school, was like, fuck, I don't want to go to uni because I'm kind of retarded. I don't want to get a trade because I don't want to be working for $15 an hour for 4 years and then eventually get $40 an hour and waste my time there. So I was like, well, where can I earn the most amount of money in the quickest sort of time? And the only place, with my knowledge and, IQ was the mines. And it always fascinated me, to be drilling out minerals from the ground, and always that kind of, I guess, that like ego boost of a job. I don't know, but that's just what I thought, and I wanted to get there. All right, so what did I do? As soon as I turned 18, I finished school, and I basically packed my bags and I drove all the way from Queensland all the way over to Perth, WA. I'd never been to Perth. I had like one job lined up for a mining. I still had to do my medical, still had to get cleared. Wasn't sure if I was going to get it. And I was staying with people that I never met before that were like family friends. So basically took a risk at 18 to go across the country to get a job that I might get and then start a whole career and a whole new life. Now, I eventually did get that job. What job was that? That was being an underground offsider. And I'll put some videos and footage up of what I did and the kind of job and work that I did. But basically all it is you are drilling and you are sampling bits of core underground. So you're sampling bits of the mines to find more gold, or for us, we're finding gold. And then basically, it's just a big fuck off rig. You just got pipes and, tubes and rods, and you're just drilling, say like one line for sometimes 100 meters, sometimes 1,000 meters. So you drill 3 meters, pull that 3 meter core out, which will be in like a 3 meter tube. Then you'll put in an empty one, drill another 3, and just going. So then you're just doing all that every day. Now, first couple months, it was the first year actually. I loved it. I really did like it. It was always a good job. And it was really hard. I loved it because it was just hard, like physically demanding. I didn't have to go to the gym. I was fit, I was lean, and then, I would come off my break. I was, could just, I didn't have to go to the gym, go to Bali. I love my surfing, I love traveling. So I was always, had a good physique, being 18, that's pretty valuable. So with that, I think I was making around like $95,000 a year before tax. So it was a super entry level job, not the best pay in terms of FIFO. So, but it was just, beginner level job. And that's normally what a job that people go into when they go into FIFO is an underground diamond driller. But what people don't tell you about that job is that it's very dead end. Now, what I mean by that, dead end in a way like, so once you get into drilling, you'll learn everything about drilling. But also with that, when you learn everything about drilling, all you know is drilling. You don't know anything else. Now, in mining and in underground and in FIFO, drilling is just a tiny thing, a part of the whole iceberg, what the fuck you want to call it, So having knowledge in just one thing makes it very hard for you to jump and change and go to different jobs. Now, when I say that, so diamond drilling, you got offsider. So you're the guy, you're doing the heavy lifting, and the rig's always moving. You're adding rods, you're taking off rods, you're adding tubes, you're cleaning core, all that kind of stuff. You're the hands-on person. So you're doing that, and then you have the driller who's operating the rig. So you start as an offsider, then you move up to driller, and then you go into like senior driller. But really, All there is like driller, offsider, driller, senior driller, and then supervisor, and then like site supervisor or something. So it's just like, you're just constantly going up, but it's just all the same thing. Now, for me, I didn't want to be a driller, right? Because I was like, that just looks shit, you know? The amount of stress you're putting yourself under, because it's a very stressful job. You know, it's a very stressful job. You've got a company that is always pushing you for more work, pushing every bit of work and hour out of you. Plus, you know, you're dealing with Mother Nature, Earth, rock, and you're dealing that with machine. Things go wrong, things fuck up, things break, and when things break and wear and tear and it breaks on your shift, it's your fault. It's just how it is. You know, you just cop it. So when I saw that, I was like, look, I don't really want to do that job, and I really wanted to get into underground mining. Now, the difference between you have diamond drilling, and underground mining. Now, like I was saying before, diamond drilling is a very kind of not dead-end job, but the only way, so like I was saying before, you have off-sited driller, senior driller, then supervisor, and like site supervisor. You can go on to you can jump onto a different sort of rig, like a surface driller, which does explosives, or, you know, a long hole rig, which drills through stopes. But that is like not very, you can do it, but it's not something that you always, you know, that naturally happens. You know, you have to know someone, you have to make a jump. So that's why I didn't really want to, you know, go down that path, and I wanted to go down mining, you know, production. So in production, you have nipper, truck driver, then you have service crew. So nipper does the bolts, which runs the bolts for the jumbo, which do like the support work, and also they do the faces. So to do that, trucks obviously bring out the rocks out of the fucking ground. Then you have service crew, which do all the vents, and you have pipes all underground. You have, they run power cables, but not really power, because that's what the Sparkies do. Then you have charge up. So charge up do all the explosives. So they'll be working on a face, and then let's say they're exploding a certain area, then they'll just pump that up with explosives. So that's one job. But see how like every step of mining, there's a different kind of job. You know, truck driving is completely different to being a service crew, you know, and working with different sorts of things. So, and then service crew is completely different than charge up, you know, you're not dealing with explosives. So I wanted to dive into that world so that I could have a variety of different sorts of things. And that's, you know, that's what I really learn everything. Now, the truth about FIFO is like, people will say like, all right, you know, I'm going to go there, I'm going to earn all this money. Yeah, you're going to earn money, but you're going to get fucking taxed like a motherfucker. Like a motherfucker. Like I'm talking $50,000 to $90,000 a year in just taxes. Yes. When I was even on when I first started making $100,000 to $120,000 a year, I was paying, I think it was about 35 to 45% taxes. So $35,000 to $45,000 worth of taxes a year. So like nearly around $1,000 a week. So which brings my income to like what? $60,000, $70,000 a year? The fuck? And on the other thing with that is people go, oh yeah, you know, wow, you made $4,000 in a week. That's really, really good. And then some people times that by, you know, 52. But that's wrong, because you're not out of work. You're not working 52 weeks of the year. You're working 2 and 1 rosters. You got 1 week off, or you're working 2 and 2 rosters. Excuse me. Or you got 2 weeks off. So with that, if you're earning, let's say you're on 2 and 2 roster, you're on $50 an hour. All right. You have 2 weeks off. You have 2 weeks on. Say you're making $5,000 a week. You work 2 weeks. Now you have $10,000 a week is what you get paid. $10,000 in 2 weeks for a fortnight. But then you have 2 weeks off. So you're not getting paid. So you have to split all that up. So if you're making $5,000 a week, now you're making $2,500 a week, which then is going to get taxed to what? Then end up $1,700, $1,800, $1,900 a week. And trust me, for the amount of bullshit that you had to do, it's not just working you're always working constantly, dealing with just shit, dealing with problems. And look, a lot of people love it. I know I personally loved it for a lot of the time. But I realized that the amount of bullshit that I'm putting up with, bro, is not fucking worth the money that I'm making. You know, and like getting paid and going, fuck me. Like, I just went through 12 hours of that, and then to look at what the money came in for that, really just didn't satisfy me and wasn't worth it. And trust me, like 12 hours is a very long fucking time. Even 10, 11, but mainly like 12. Like, do a test, right? Wake up at 6 o'clock. So wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then then, you know, go about your day, and then go back to 6 p.m. that day and think about that whole day. Now, think about doing that, but at a rig, at one place, doing one continuous movement, over one continuous task, over and over again, pulling rods, adding tubes, this, you know, emptying core, whatever it is, you know, services. Doing that for 12 hours a day fucks with your head a lot. Then on top of that, do it for 14 days, do it for a month, do it for a year. Bro, you know, the mental health of it and the actual aspect of what you're doing, trust me, man, like, even when you're out there, you will go, fuck me, I would give up this $5,000 a week just to be with my family, to see what's going on, you know, just to enjoy life. I'm saying, like, yeah, it's not really worth it. But on the flip of that, at age 19, I was able to put a deposit down for my very first house of this one right here. And then age 21, took about a year and a half, 2 years to build. At 21, I moved into my first house. With saying that, and what I was saying, you know, to the drillers and the drillers off-sider and like myself, and, you know, sometimes even mining, is like, okay, you go and do a couple years out in the mines, then you come home and you want to come work back, you know, in Perth, or, you know, wherever, back in your hometown. I wouldn't be able to get a job as a drillers off-sider in Perth. It's not a thing. You know what I mean? So my experience that I've just learned goes nowhere. You know, that's what I was saying, dead end. Even like charger, dealing with explosives. Where the fuck am I going to explode shit up and, you know, move large amounts of rock in Perth? Nowhere. The only way to move forward, and like once you're in FIFO and learn those skills, is other FIFO jobs. So it's like, once you're there, you're there. And that's why, like, you know, if you can go there and get a trade or get something under you or out of it, like in the years that you're there, 100% go for it. But if you do not have a plan, it isn't going to be the best for you. So, in saying that a lot, you know, the mental health of it and the aspect of that, personally, I have a very strong mental health. I think I don't know. I just went through a bit of stuff when I was a kid, so I just could deal with it. I guess I could just deal with a lot of things. Plus, I enjoyed hard work, and that was that. But the reality is, like, you know, you're away from your family for 1, 2, 3, sometimes even 4 weeks, and the only really place that you have to yourself is a tiny donga, which is fucking tiny. Sometimes you got to share a bathroom or don't even have a bathroom, and that's really, you know, where you sit alone with your thoughts. You know, every weekend you're gonna see on social media your friends out, your friends partying, your girlfriend partying. You're gonna see your kids. You know, family's gonna send you photos of your kids. You're gonna see your kids 3 months. If you're on a 2-on-1 roster, you're gonna see your kids 3 months of the year, which is, on top of that, like, the suicide rates of FIFO are crazy, because people come in, they make it money, but then they're like, fuck, I can't fucking mentally deal with this shit, but I'm also in $120,000 of debt because I got a new ute and a jet ski and fucking everything else. And this is why young blokes, you know, kill themselves. They can't get out. They don't see another way out because they don't have any skills to then move forward. So with that, I knew that I needed to get out of FIFO, and after doing it for 2 years, I was like, I don't want to go get a trade because then I could make less money, and I'm still going to be working the same amount of hours, right? See, for me, it's not a flex. Don't flex to me how much money you make in an hour. Flex to me how much money you can make from anywhere in the world and on your own schedule. That's a flex. So I knew that I needed to make money, and I always loved traveling. I always loved going to Bali, loved surfing, loved, you know, fucking doing a bit of partying at the old Finn's Beach Club. Who doesn't? And that was what I used to do on my weeks off. And I wanted, every time I'd go there, I would like, fuck, I want to stay here. I either want to live here or I want to leave FIFO and be able to live here. The way that I looked in a lot of ways of doing that, you know, whether that be, you know, doing a longer swing, or, you know, some sort of other way, like, you know, buying, I don't know, a couple of Airbnbs there and sort of running an income out of that. But nothing really worked, you know, nothing really looked like it would work. Nothing was really kind of my type, or like my, you know, something that I'd be able to do in the next like couple of months. But until I came across, you know, simply learning sales, learning marketing, and then implementing the two, and then using my personal brand as well. So with that, what does that actually mean? What does learning sales and marketing mean, and what can it do, and what did it do for me? So sales and marketing, every business needs it. Think about a business like a fucking, you need sales, you need the marketing to bring in the leads and bring brand awareness of your business, and, you know, bring customers and shit. Then you need sales to make the sale and collect the money, and that's it. So those two, if you learn sales, right, then you're not going to have any leads to come in, but you're going to be a gun salesman. But if you learn marketing and you don't know sales, you're going to bring leads and they're all just going to be sitting there with their dick in their hand and you won't make any money. So learning two of them are the best. Then it gets a bit difficult with learning how to properly market it and the right products and services to sell, but that's all part of the journey. But for me, what I did, and exactly what I did, is I started obviously learning the skills. I learned sales, I learned appointment setting. Now, appointment setting is where you're connecting the customer to the sales rep, to the salesperson. So you're not closing the deal, you're just the middleman, and then you get a percentage when that deal is closed. And that customer is already interested in the product or service. Now, I have a full video that dives into depth about this, so if you want to check that out, then go on my other video. But I went in, I was working FIFO, I was also doing a bit of construction, and I said, okay, I'm making $2,500 a week. I need to replace this income so that way I can leave this job. That was my goal. I needed to leave the job so I just needed to replace my income and leave. It took me 2 months, learn all the skills, learn what I needed. Third month, I started implementing, started making no money, started fucking up. And I was working for I was appointment setting for a real estate coach that was selling real estate deals of high ticket. So between $10,000 US and $25,000 US dollars. So I was just in the middle and I was connecting those two deals on my, you know, off swings and on my time off work. It was tough. Work fucking 12 hours underground. All you want to do is go to sleep. But now you got to, you know, appointment set and, you know, make money online. On the third month, right? Made mistakes, then boom. I made $500 online, completely remotely from my phone while I was still out on site. Then, I think it was like 2 weeks after that, I fully replaced my FIFO income. Fully. Made $2,500 completely from my phone. What did I do? Next week, quit my fucking FIFO job, packed my bags, and I moved from Perth all the way to the Philippines. I wanted to surf, live my life. That's exactly what I did. I haven't gone and sat back in this shirt ever again. I haven't been back to a job site ever again. I'm just wearing the shirt for shits and gigs, basically, and a bit dirty. But that is how quickly your life can change. And quickly my life went from, you know, doing this all day, being underground, to then being able to live life like this and be able to make money like this. And I think it was on my 4th month of starting this, I made my first $10,000 a month, and I was, you know, working fully remote. So I was like, fuck, I'm living in the Philippines, surfing every day, eating good food, hanging out with the locals, hanging out with my best mates, got a villa with my best mates. You know, we're fucking partying, hanging out, and I'm making $10,000 a month. Crazy, right? But see, the whole world is going digital. So if I just stayed in FIFO, it was never going to be a correct career for me, you know, and I would always, you know, want to break free and go and travel the world. But I was always on like a yo-yo back and forth because of FIFO. So for that, I just didn't, you know, that's why I made the jump into this. And I'm so fucking forever grateful, you know, as some of the experiences that I've had, you know, over this last year from when I started, because that was only like, what, 2023, and then the whole of 2024, I was, you know, traveling and making money online. But now here, this video isn't about how shit FIFO is or anything like that. I'm still saying 100% go to FIFO, go experience it. Buy your first house with FIFO, but you have to have an exit plan. You have to have a plan of how long you're going to stay there for, when you're going to eventually leave, what your plan is, and buy fucking property. So that's it, you know. If you're someone that maybe you're in FIFO or you're looking to get into FIFO, but you're looking for an exit plan where you can then have that freedom, if you want to get started with making money online and, you know, actually through sales and marketing, people like Michael, who went from working a FIFO gig, making, you know, I think it was like $1,500 a week, to now where he's pulled in over $7,000 in 1 week selling digital products. Now, he doesn't have to post anything on social media whatsoever. He just simply sells digital products, and that's what he does. Or people like Ethan, who went from being a FIFO Sparky to now where he's making $30,000 a month. If you're keen on that, the mentors that coached me, Ethan, Michael, and so many other people, they do have spots open for March and April and the coming months. So if you are keen on that, there is a booking link for you to book in a call down below. But other than that, that's it from me. But overall, guys, like, you know, there's so much opportunity. There's so much opportunity in this thing right here. So the fact that we're not using it to its full potential and we're just using it to scroll through reels and send memes to each other, it's fucking embarrassing, you know. We're gonna fucking do something about this. But guys, like, fuck me, you know, like, there's so much potential out there. The world is out there, bro. Fucking all you need to do, like, the craziest thing is, like, people tell me, like, oh fuck man, it's too hard to make money, like, isn't even possible. It's like, you're making $1,000 a week, or you're making $2,000 a week. Find one product that gives you $1,000 profit or $1,000 commission and just sell it twice a week. Sell it fucking 5 times a month. There's so much potential, you know, and I just don't understand why people are not, you know, jumping on this and actually starting, because the whole world is going digital. But that's it from me. Hope everyone has a wonderful week. And if you have any questions or, you know, anything about FIFO or anything about making money online, feel free to send me a DM on my Instagram. This is it right here. And that's pretty much it. So all the best. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.